Today we're going to be going over a very fun topic, and this topic is going to be on something that Konami has been cementing more and more as time goes on, and this is a video that is based on the tri-types of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, we've gotten a few tri-types over the past few years, while we've had some over for 10 years. Now, I do want to start off explaining what they are. Tri-types are decks of monsters that have three different types that work together. Think of it like Mermails being Sea Serpent, Aqua, or Fish, or even Tri-Brigade with Beast Warrior, Beast, and Winged Beast. These are the two well-known tri-types of Yu-Gi-Oh! Both were meta in their own particular area of their own particular time of the game. And recently, we've gotten a few more cemented in Yu-Gi-Oh! Along with a quad type, or you could say 4 to 5. I would say quad to quint type deck. But let's focus on the tri-types real quick. And we do have a couple more that are going to be coming out. First off, we have the new Raika deck being Reptile, Insect, and Plant, respectively. And this is a new deck that's coming out in Legacy of Destruction, which is going to be really nice to see. But this cemented the types of Reptile, Insect, and Plants together, as Konami has been hinting at that for the past few years, as we can see with a few of the support cards that they've released in the last year or so. The other tri-type deck is Psychic, Machine, and Cyberse. They've finally cemented these three as its own, and it's really cool because Psychic Processor is a very nice card for these, since it can summon up to 2 Machine, Psychic, and or Cyberse monsters from your hand, and they can attack directly this turn. So realistically, you could summon out things like Jinzo and Spell Canceller if you really wanted to, but then you can also summon out 2 things that search, like Lady Debug and another card. So realistically, they cemented this tri-type quite well, and honestly, this is more Cosmo support than anything, as they were a duo type prior, but now we have the Cyberse edition, which makes a lot of sense. But finally, let's talk about this massive quad to quint type. Now, what it is pretty much your dragon, dinosaur, sea serpent, worm, and along with that, dinosaur. Well, dinosaur was already there, but in some of the dinosaur cards, they do mention winged beast, like Animador and Archosaur. So realistically, this is a 4 to 5 type area of the deck where we've seen evolve over time, because we have a Gave Dragon, which is a worm that deals with dinosaurs, dragons, sea serpents, and worms. We have reptiles being addition to it, as we can pull up Animadorn real quick. As we can see that in its card text, it does state, then add 1 reptile, sea serpent, or winged beast monster. So realistically, this is a whole entire thing where they keep adding things on, as dinosaurs are old relics like reptiles, flying creatures, even sea serpents too. So realistically, we have so many things that tie these together. And we also have the tri-type in the Evel deck being your reptile, dinosaurs, and dragons. So it's another thing that cements that that's a tri-type built into another form of other tri-types or quad types. Now, as we were sitting down, we were thinking of other things that you could do for these tri-types. One of the most obvious ones are Worm, Sea Serpent, and Dragon, because we've seen things that can reflect that, as we see with a Gave Dragon. Again, dragons and worms are with this card, and also Sea Serpent. So this already checks all the boxes for that tri-type. The other one is more interesting because it's one of those that I brought up myself, being illusion spellcasters are 2 and 2, but you can also add something like a fairy or a fiend to it. So that's another tri-type, being illusion spellcaster fairy or illusion spellcaster fiend, to base off of the original Yu-Gi-Oh games with those charts. Another one was zombie fiend spellcaster or illusion, but that's another one for another day. Another one that was very fun to bring up was Aqua Rock Thunder or Pyro Rock Thunder, because you have underground volcanoes, well, volcanoes mainly, and water volcanoes. So realistically, those work super well. Another one that was brought up was Winged Beast, Pyro, and Aqua, because if we look in Forbidden Memories, if you were to fuse a Winged Beast and an Aqua, cool, you get something nice. You fuse a Winged Beast and a Pyro, you would get Crimson Sunbird. Because this was a fun card to make with your Winged Beast and Pyro. Another one that was brought up was Machine, Insect, and Cybers. So luckily we have these here. And what this is, you have Machine, Insect, and Cybers thinking on the line of Weevil Underwood, where he would take his insects, equip them with machines, and they would become Cybers in some way. Others we have are Illusion Zombie Machine for things like Bandit Keith and Bones, and Illusion Fairy Fiend because that's a fairy tale right there. So realistically, there's a lot of things that they could do with tri-types. Overall, would they do them? That is a good question, but realistically, I want to know what you guys think on tri-types in general and what you think that they should do in the future. But overall, tri-types have built the game up quite a bit over the past few years, and we've seen so much success with them because they could just mix and match whatever you need, which I really do think is nice. And if we look at things like Fallen of Albaz, that is a whole another can of worms, because if you look at it, he starts off as a dragon. Cool, he has another dragon. And then if you look at all of his forms, you have dragon, worm, another dragon. You also have machine, beast, winged beast. So there's a lot to go off of this for so many different tri-types that they can do. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I want to definitely know your guys' opinions on these tri-types, because I feel like Konami's going to start doing more of them to cross paths other types with what we have. And honestly, I cannot wait to see the responses to this video. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.